So this is going to be a really quick video on how to replace a broken corner on a Skewb. So what I have with me is an RS Skewb. So this is kind of a more MoU type cube tutorial, but this should work for pretty much any other Skewb in the market right now. So the first step that we're going to have to do is actually loosen up the puzzle a little bit. And in order to do that, what we need to do is look inside of the puzzle to kind of figure out which of these corner pieces has a screw underneath, because how the Skewb is put together is that the corners are screwed onto the core, everything else moves around these corners. So an easy way to do that is kind of just look inside the puzzle. So if we kind of slightly turn the puzzle, slightly, not a complete turn, we can actually go ahead and look inside and see if there's like a screw or anything shiny in there. So here I know that this one has a screw underneath it, because if we look closely inside, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can clearly see a screw in there. You can shine a light in there, see if it shines back. But in order for you to kind of get started, we know that we need to loosen this one. So first step is to remove the cap from the puzzle. Now you can kind of get this with your fingernails, but I don't like hurting my fingertips so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and use something flat, usually a sticker razor, or in this case, I have just another piece here. So plastic on plastic is much better because you're not damaging the surface of the puzzle with another plastic piece. So what you need to do is kind of get underneath the color bit here and in between like the base color, in this case it's purple. So from here, what we need to do is kind of start separating this. I'm going to go ahead and just push this up and away from the cube until it starts lifting up slightly. So it started lifting up on there, but I'm going to go ahead and turn the puzzle a little bit. I'm going to kind of do it from the yellow side. So here, kind of, you saw it lift up. And once it's kind of loosened up, we should be able to kind of just wiggle this in. And if not, we just go in there with our flat plastic piece and kind of just push that off like so. All right. And then that will expose this screw. From here, we're going to go ahead and turn counterclockwise to loosen the screw up a little bit, because what we need to do here is take out one of the large square centerpieces. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and remove the blue one. Let's just say like one of the other corners is the one that's damaged on the Skewb. So from here, what we want to do is kind of just reach in there, do a slight turn, and then there should be a lot of play for you to kind of just slip it back out. From here, we're going to go ahead and remove, let's say this is the damaged corner. Remove the damaged corner, replace it with a brand new one, going ahead and making sure that we're not forcing it, we're kind of just maneuvering it around so it kind of sits properly in place, and then putting everything back onto the puzzle. So here is something that we need to pay attention to, is kind of how these wings are on the puzzle. Now we just want to make sure that we are putting them back in properly. In this case, we have a kind of gap on this little wing part and a gap here, so we kind of see that it'll fit around this right here. So when we insert it, we want to make sure that everything is going back underneath, and this is why we want to loosen the puzzle up a little bit, so we have that play to kind of ease that into there. Now these two little other wings will go in this gap between this part of the corner. So here we have a deeper kind of piece of plastic here. Here's the base. That piece will go, this little wing will go in between that area. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by actually going ahead and turning the puzzle slightly, because if the puzzle is slightly deformed, this allows for a lot more play on top of the fact that we loosen the puzzle. It should make the inserting this a lot easier. So first I'm going to go ahead and put this in like this, so where we have that wing, we're kind of just maneuvering it over here. We're going to go ahead and slip the right side of this piece underneath this corner while doing that. And then this part, we're going to try to lift this corner up with the screw and try to slip that piece underneath. And if we're not successful that way, that's okay. We can try doing it in a different direction. So from here, I saw that it's not working. Try a different approach here. Kind of slightly deform it like this. And then try it again. So in this direction. And we're just trying to, there we go. So I felt that kind of shift and push in. It's slightly deformed like that. We're putting that back in. And when you're putting your corners back in, make sure that the puzzle is solvable. I'm not actually sure if I made it solvable in this case, but we'll figure it out once I put the cap back on. And we're gonna go ahead and just tighten the screw up a little bit. Back to the preferred tensions. It's actually best if you kind of count how many times you twist the screwdriver so you can get it back to its original tensions. But what this will do is tighten the puzzle back up and get it back into a solvable state. There, just replace the cap, give it a nice firm push so it sticks back on there, and that is how you would remove and replace a Skewb corner off most Moyu cubes and most cubes in general. Hope that helps.